Welcome back to the Tide Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you the weekly news and review for June 28th, 2020. And it's been a very eventful week. A lot of stuff going on. New Transformer lines announced, new figures announced, lots of stuff. So let's get right into it. All right, before we get into all the news, I want to remind everybody to get your collection pictures in. We're creeping up on the 7,000 subscriber special. That's coming up. I'm going to start working on that soon. So get your pictures in if you want to be part of the 7K sub special. So I want to talk about a few things that are coming in stock, shipping, and pre-ordering at Show Z that I'm excited about. I'm really excited about these Magic Square tapes for Soundwave, and I don't have Soundwave yet. Got the tapes coming, and I'll get Soundwave and all that fun stuff. But you can get this on Show Z. It should be coming in stock any day now, so mine should be shipping out. And these things look great. There's pre-orders up for the Banana Force Optimus Prime. It's listed as a G1 Optimus Prime. Pretty interesting how that goes. I'm pretty sure this thing is the same as what they've been making, but it's just line drawings, and so there's not an actual picture. So Banana Force has made kind of an RID looking one, I think, and so to go with a more G1-esque, that'd be pretty cool. And for one that does transform, we have this one here, the Transform Element TEO1C Optimus Prime cell shaded version. Now this one's going to be about $30 more than their usual. They're usually about $100. This is $130. But the cell shading and all the excessive paint, painted head to toe because of the cell shading, adds to the price whenever they do a cell shaded figure. Any of them do one. So it looks good. I think that it's probably going to be one of the better looking ones. But I can't tell if these are renders or actual pictures of the product because of the way the cell shading is. So a lot of Masterpiece news this week is about reissues and stuff. But here we have a reissue of Coot, now coming in stock at your third-party distributor of choice, so check them. Alright, so Fans Toys Magnum, their Wild Rider should be showing up to the third-party retailer of your choice, so look out for him. I'm excited for him. I think he looks pretty good, and I think that this is going to be another addition, another great addition to the Fans Toys Minosaur group. And I have been hearing breakage issues from people with their Sheridan, with their Iceman, and I really hope we don't see that on this guy, but you do have to kind of put into context there are going to be a lot more reports of breakage issues because there's a lot more figures getting sold, and that's just the way it is. And I don't really know that there is a higher percentage rate of breakage, so I hope we don't have any breakage issues with this guy. Hope he looks good. I look forward to him. Moving into some Kang toys, and they've got the Firmament. And this is the Shayu? Anyway, this is showing off the wingspan that this guy's got, and it looks pretty good. I think this set is turning out to be an okay set. I really haven't seen a lot of the combined mode stuff just yet, but I think it'll look good in combined mode too. It is a bit stylized, of course. It's not a super slated G1 kind of mentality. And so with that, you're getting something a little bit different. And looking at the bird mode looks like a bird. It looks like it's supposed to. It's a pretty interesting looking bird there. And it shows the wingspan. It shows all of the different... Looks like it's got feathers as a robotic bird. And then here's the arm. It's kind of strange how all the pictures are grayscale, but when you get to the hand and then this upcoming gun, you have some color on it, so that's weird. But anyway, there's the hand with attachable sidearm gun. Yeah, looks like pretty good. So it looks like Keith's going to be doing some reissues, or for whatever reason they're coming in stock soon with the G2 and the G1 version of Neptune. I do want to say that their Neptune is the best looking, best operating sea spray on the market. I don't know if Fans Toys will beat it, but it seems like a little rivalry between them. Who will make the best sea spray now? But hey, if you were in for this, you missed out on the G2. I'm kind of considering getting the G2 myself. but they're way more expensive this go around. Instead of 55, they're like 80. We've already talked about this, but it's still on pre-order. I thought this would have been out by now, but the X-Transbot's Class 2 with the metallic version, with the shinier paint. So all these mini-bots are coming from X-Transbot. They're putting out another Ollie, and is this going to be Ollie number 4? This is version 4. I know V3 just came last year. Ollie version 4. But see, why not? Why not put out another Ollie? There's not really another option out there. There is another option, but this is the best looking option. And I think each iteration they make improvements, they make it better, they add diecast, all that good stuff. So I'm happy with mine, so I would actually recommend it. And it seems strange that so many of their limbs are getting reissued as we're waiting on the trailer. And you can get all these limbs, you can pre-order them or you can buy them, but it seems like they're different figures from different sets showing up, and you really can't get one set at one time right now. So you can either get the Toon, or you could get the toy, or you could get the G2. But you can't get, you can get them separately, but you cannot get all of them at once. It's kind of strange how X-Transbot's doing it. But now I'm starting to wonder who's going to finish their Venusaur first. Is it going to be DX9 or is it going to be X-Transbots? And I always had my money on X-Transbots from day one because they started sooner. But the trailer isn't even listed at a lot of the third-party distributors as a pre-order yet, so that makes me wonder, how are they even going to get this out? They don't have a date on it. They don't have pre-orders coming for it. We're only waiting on one limb from DX9. Kaczynski's in the mail, so the last limb from DX9 will be done first. And I wrote them off last year as if DX9, the underdog, that they gave up, but they might finish first. That is amazing. So we've seen some videos showing up of Transform Elements Mirage getting transformed, which shows that it's getting a lot closer to production. I think that thing's coming pretty soon, and it looks good. It looks like it operates really well. It seems pretty simple. It doesn't seem too ridiculously crazy. So I'm down for it. I'm looking forward to it. I got it on pre-order. I can't wait to get my hands on it and give it a fair shake. Because you know what? Transform Element is a company that could be taken over and moving up the ranks like an X-Transbots or an MMC. Still quite a bit of ways to go to take on Fans Toys 100%, but they can if they stick with it. Moving into some Legends news here, we've got videos of Highbrow. This is the McFans Toys Highbrow. So this thing's moving along here. Now, I'm not sure. I think this might be one of their KO oversizes of maybe the DX9, or was it Unique Toys that did these, or whoever. I'm not 100% sure, because I'm still sort of new to the Legends game myself, but it still looks good, and it's a little bit bigger, and I like them a little bit bigger, so it operates well. Hey, I look forward to that one too. Speaking of McFans Toys, there seems to be some interesting photos of their other version of Astro Train. It's kind of the white repaint, and it looks cool. But from this angle, it almost looks smaller than the other one. I think it's just an optical illusion. But when I'm looking at these pictures, I'm going, why does it look so much smaller than the other Astro Train? There's not the one in the middle. The one in the middle is, I guess, Siege or something like that. The Siege or Earthrise, whichever box you bought it in, I guess, the same toy. But he does look shorter. The white one looks shorter than the gray one. I don't know if that's an optical illusion or what, but it still looks good. I think this mold looks great. I think that's it standing on Aluin Resources. I'm guessing that's a shiny face on Optimus, but so small, yet so big. Got some pretty clean mode there. I think it looks good. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's perfect, but it does look good. I mean, you're talking about that small of Transformer, and it's got 3 modes, and really doesn't compromise them. Can't wait to get my hands on the first one that's on the way. Check it out. Wow, have we had a week talking about the RED Robot Enhanced Design, new 6-inch line from Hasbro Transformers, kind of like the Black Series in Star Wars, kind of like the Marvel Legends, and both of those are hits. This is probably going to be a hit. I think everything looks good with it. Some of the hardcore Transformer fans would not be in on this because they don't transform. Now, they're going to be $20 figures. I did a whole video about it, so you can check that out. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but here's Soundwave. And their Soundwave looks good. I like this Soundwave. I like the way he looks. But frankly, he looks a lot like the Magic Square one that does transform, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I think that this is going to work. This is one of those things that's going to work. I feel like they just made them a little too short. We'll see when we get one. And I get seeing it in hand, it doesn't look like it's much shorter than just standard Voyager figures, but it does look a whole lot cleaner. He will have a removable cassette. The cassette doesn't do anything, it's just a cassette. So this is kind of where this does kind of bring up some points, like what are you going to do with the cassette? Just be a display in his chest. I don't know if they'll come out with separate tapes, like maybe a 4-pack of the cassettes where you have a Rumble, a Ravage, Frenzy, a Laserbeak, or something like that, a Rat-Bat. Wouldn't that be cool to have like a little set of minions? Now I know this 2-pack of Voyager, no, they're not. Yeah, they're Voyager class. Skywarp and Thundercracker. These Seekers are going to be hard to find and very highly sought after, but this caught my eye. I actually was going to show you guys it's for pre-sale at TF Source, and it turned out it was sold out. Literally saw it a day or two ago, and it's already sold out for $110 for a $60 set. That is crazy. But then again, $55 each. How many of you guys would pay $55 to get a Skywarp right now? Probably a lot of people to get the Siege Skywarp, because that thing's hard to get. Okay, so we're going to get into a lot of Chug news here, starting with this in-package shot of a lot of these upcoming Earthrise figures, starting with the Alicon in the top left. It's going to be hard for me not to buy several of them, because that's kind of a troop builder kind of deal, and he looks great. Then, of course, we got Smokescreen in there, and Smokescreen looks good. It's the alt mode is going to be more Earth mode. That's awesome. RC, I look forward to RC. I just reviewed the MMC one. Just kind of curious to see how good this one turns out to be. And then, of course, we have this Airwave here, which is going to be another one of those kind of like Ironworks, I think. Okay, so we have a Deluxe Centurion Drone Weaponizer 5-pack. This thing is pretty cool, and it is going to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So it's going to include all of these bits and pieces and weapons, and they're going to circumvent the third-party add-on kits. You're going to get a wheelie, a roller. You're going to get all these parts and pieces and bits that all the other third-party companies that are throwing add-on kits. You got a cage for Ravage, just so much stuff that they're sending out there, and it's all going to come in this nice little box. So that's pretty cool. I like that they did that. I like that they made it an option. And, you know, it doesn't really cost that much to make a whole bunch of little plastic pieces and parts, because that's cool. Next up, we have the reissue. The next reissue for Walmart is going to be this blaster. It's a G1 blaster. I can already tell it doesn't look exactly like the G1. The color of the legs are a bit off from mine. Maybe mine are faded. But here's the thing. It's only going to be $30 instead of $50 like Soundwave. I don't think there's a cassette that's going to be packed in. I don't know yet. But I really can't remember if a cassette was even packed in. I don't even think there was a cassette packed in with Blaster. But for the $30 price point, I just think that's a really good price point for these. These at $30 make sense. $50, no. We got another shot of another Conehead. We have Dirge here. This is what I think a Conehead, a Seeker, clean, Earthrise, looks good. They redesigned the cone so it works for a Conehead. Looks good. I like it. They showed off their Roto Storm. Now this is going to be a repaint of the Spinister. I love the Spinister figure. I love the mold. It's getting repainted into even more freaky colors. I'm okay with that. I can live with the more freaky colors. He's a good looking bot, and it has a good looking alt mode. I like it. I probably will pick it up. I don't know. I actually picked up a second Spinister on sale, so that's why I'm kind of leery. Do I want to get another one of the mold? But it's a good mold. Maybe I should. And we got Tiger Track, which is, you know, I think this is going to be the Tiger Track and the Roto Storm are going to be online exclusives. You can get them at like the big BBTS and TF Stores, Entertainment Earth, Dorkside Toys, Robot Kingdom, Hobby Link Japan, Chosen Prime, Toy Dojo, Ages 3 and Up, and all that stuff. I think that's the only place you'll get them. I don't think these will be showing up in Walmarts, but you know, who knows. And this Tiger Track's a remold or repaint of Siege Sideswipe mold, but it's going to be Earthrise packaging, and it's going to have the yellow coloring. Looks good. I have to admit, though, I first found out about it by getting like a pre-order notification from Entertainment Earth. And we've got Generation Selects Exhaust. So this guy here, there's a reveal for him. He's also known as the Marlboro Wheeljack, and this is going to be, it's probably going to be an exclusive somewhere. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Remold, recolor of Wheeljack. Next, we got Grease Pit, which is a redeco of the Earthrise Deluxe Ironworks. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I just reviewed Ironworks. I think the Ironworks is a pretty cool figure, a good figure for what it is. And they're going to try to get as many of these Micromaster sets done as they can. And if they got to recolor a couple of them, it's not going to hurt my feelings. And more new news. So here's the thing. There's going to be a Back to the Future crossover 2020. And I'm sure it's just going to be a transforming DeLorean. But they haven't revealed it yet. They're going to reveal it next week in, I guess, a Fan First Friday. So next Friday it'll get revealed. And I hope that they do a good enough job with it that it matches up to some of these customs I've seen around. Point of reference on the custom, here's one that's amazing. Will they be able to do this good of a job? I don't know. Of course, this was used, they used probably a prowl or something like that as a base and then used a model to add to it. But man, if they could do this good of work, if Hasbro could do it, or just get close, I'd be all on board with it. I'm excited. We're also getting our first looks at Studio Series Blitzwing, and I have to admit, I'm kind of impressed. I didn't really think I was going to be in on this design, but I like it. I think it looks pretty good. Here it is in the alt mode as an airplane, which he's not a triple changer. Saddens me to hear that, but... And there he is with a background that comes with the artwork and the box. Looks pretty cool. Kind of reminds you of the movie. Studio Series Bumblebee movie Cliff Jumper is also showing up in package shots, so that's things probably going to be on the shelves eventually, pretty soon. He looks okay. And of course, it wouldn't be a week of Transformers news without them talking more about stuff that they've already shown but isn't out yet. You can't get your hands on it, so someone else puts their hands on it. They've got transformation videos of all of the upcoming Earthrise figures, it seems, out on YouTube, and of course their page, their Facebook page, the Hasbro Pulse Facebook page, I believe that's what it was. And so here's Scorpenoc. Another different angle of him showing his waist swivel. He's got some posability to him. Kind of don't like that he has disappearing knee syndrome, but in the end, as long as the joint is strong and holds, I'll be okay with that. I probably won't have him in that dynamic of a pose anyway, but that kind of took me by surprise when I saw it. But I still absolutely love the base mode. I think it's great. It works for me. I like it. They went out of their way to give us some really nice looking pictures of Double Dealer. Now, I personally picked up a G1 Double Dealer. Missing everything, of course. It was cheap. Just so I can have like size comparison and some comparison to when I do a review. But I really am looking forward to this guy too. He's so different to me than kind of one of the other ones they've been putting out. And I didn't realize back in the day he was a triple changer. I never had him back in the day. So here he is as a bird. He's a bird. He's a plane. No, he's Double Dealer. And he's also a missile launcher. And I am also looking forward to Snapdragon. There's just so many great things coming out. They went out of their way again for excellent, beautiful photographs of Snapdragon. They want to get you excited about it so you buy it like you weren't going to buy it in the first place. So I don't know where this is coming from. There's a mini OP Optimus Prime. This is a transformable world's smallest Transformers. This is the size of those Microbots, Micromasters that are out at retail, slightly taller than the Micromasters that are out at retail right now. And it looks good. It's just very detailed for being that small and it transforms, you can see the difference in articulation, the difference in aesthetic versus a Micromaster, and it being about the same size. And this is what blows my mind when you get into the truck mode. You're just like, wow. It looks like something that they just took a Voyager and scaled it down. I think they did a great job with this. I don't know how much it's going to cost or how you're going to get your hands on it, but you know, this is the early days of this thing. And Pop Culture Shock, the ones that are giving us some different statues, are giving us now some Ultimate G1 statues. No idea how big, how expensive, any of that stuff, but there are Ultimate G1 statues. The pictures look like cartoon drawings or renders, so it's just kind of like a tease. Let's tease you with what's coming, which I think it's interesting that we're going Ultra G1. Like, we went G1, now we're going Ultra G1 in every aspect of this, which tells me that the G1 days are numbered. We're getting the golden age of Cybertron is here, and it won't last forever. This week also brought us some really cool G.I. Joe reveals. I have mixed feelings about it, but I'm more optimistic about the bad guys, the Cobras, than I am the Joes, and maybe that's just me, but I do like the way they look. So this Cobra Commander doesn't look exactly what I would think Cobra Commander would look like. I don't really like the stylized stuff, but I think it looks good. Overall, it looks good. It captures what the character is, and so I'm okay with it. I am kind of wondering if there's going to be a classics line, like a super perfect classics line, because you know, you don't get the stylized stuff in Star Wars Black Series, so I don't know why we're getting it here. But anyway, it looks good. I'm probably going to be in for it. And the Red Ninja, I don't know so much about this. I'm not really sure what's going on with this guy, but yeah, he looks cool. I mean, you got to have a ninja, right? But why not Storm Shadow? And then this Destro is Prophet Director Destro, Pimp Daddy Destro here. That is crazy. It blows my mind. Like, where did they even come up with this? Maybe it was in an episode that I just don't remember, but man, that's crazy. Now, I'm in on this Gung Ho Marine. I think he's pretty close to what I remember from G1. You take his vest off and he's there, but with a tattoo and everything on his chest, and that's kind of what I remember. I do see a little bit of stylization to him, but and his weapons kind of don't really match. But still, pretty cool. I like it. I'm still looking forward to Storm Shadow the most. One of my favorites. This week in Star Wars, not much going on past the video I made talking about the reveals. But since last Sunday, there have been a lot of reveals. They're doing quite a few figures that are just, sadly, figures we already had that were already put on 40th anniversary cards. So Luke appears to be a new figure, and this is the same one they're going to pack with a 2-pack Deluxe. And yeah, I think it's good that they put it on this, and it's all new artwork, but it's a figure that was never made, sort of, in the vintage line, so there's no card art, it's all original. But with all these repacks, they did actually put some new stuff out in the vintage collection, and there's this figure, this Chirrut figure, and this first time it's going to be made in a 3 3/4 scale with fully posable, which this figure really does need to be posable because he is pretty acrobatic, kind of. But the big news in 3 3/4 inch is this Carbonite Freezing Chamber, and a lot of people are really hating on this thing. I'm not really surprised. I don't love it, but I know how minimalistic that actual the Jabba Palace was, and I think there's more to this than the Jabba Palace, but not much. I mean, this is actually has some transparent stuff to it. I mean, it's like a small section. But when they mentioned the modular use of the Jabba Palace, I thought they meant like down the road they'd make more parts for the Jabba Palace. No, they just wanted you to buy multiple of that same Jabba Palace and just redundantly use it. And that's what they're doing with this. So I'm okay with it to the point because I'm going to get it when it goes on sale. I'm not going to be spending up $50 on it, but that's me. And here it is this is exactly what you get in the package. So bare bones. Yep. And they announced like next year they're going to be making a vintage collection Leia in a Bespin Escape, is it? So there's that. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else did I miss? What other great things were going on? Like and subscribe to Mayor out.